Hi, this is Busy Being Terrible. I'm going to shoot my first video in a long time today. What I'm going to talk about here is an electric scooter. So I have a relatively entry-level electric scooter for the kind that go 25 miles an hour. It's called an Evercross HB24, I think. It's very similar to an H3, an H5. Very similar to lots of brands they make. It's got, a very off-the-shelf kind of throttle situation. It's got a key. It's got some buttons for lights. It's got very standard, shocks, light on the front. It actually has a post that you can put a seat in, so you can have it seated down or standing up. But my scooter's not working anymore. What happens? Battery's plugged in, turn the key on, press the button to turn it on, and nothing happens. It doesn't light up at all. And so you could think the battery's dead. Okay, if we go to plug it in, the charger goes red like it's charging for a moment, and then it turns green like the battery's full. So the scooter won't charge, the scooter won't turn on. What could be the problem? Well, I'm going to try to help you figure that out, see what solutions we can do to resolve it, and see where we can go from here. So the first thing you might notice is that I've already got the scooter opened up. So I've already got the scooter opened up. It's pretty simple to take apart. This panel's on the bottom. There's 10, 12 screws here holding it in. Take out the screws, the panel comes off, then you're left with like this. You have a big mess of wires, but this is pretty simple. There's only 2 wires that connect to the battery. The battery itself will have some spacers in it, at least in this one. And then the battery is stuck with double-sided sticky tape really well up to the top. So to get it out, you actually just have to pull it, get your fingers around, pull on it really hard. The battery itself is pretty solid. It holds together easy, so you can pull it, but eventually you can pull it out. Mine's already been taken out. You can see how much sticky tape there was, and this was held in there well. And if you look, only 2 of these connectors actually go to the battery. So there's this red one, it's like a T type connector. And this yellow one, I think this is called an XT60 connector. The yellow one drives the actual power to the scooter and provides all the functions. The red one is how the battery gets charged. The rest of these wires are all for other capabilities. Right here you see there's a logic board. All the rest of the wires come out of that. And then they're driving, different things for the power button and the throttle knob and the light switches and the horn. So that's where all these are. So what can you do to fix this problem? Well, the simplest thing would be just replace the battery, and that will be one of the solutions I'll go over. The other thing you can do is see if this battery itself is fixable. It cannot be opened up. It's just a shrink wrap. It's got some kind of injection plastic here. So to take it apart, you really have to cut it apart, which would be kind of destructive. And that's kind of it's a irreversible situation. But for now, I have been able to source a replacement battery. After looking online at places like AliExpress and Amazon and custom building and electricians and different things, I was finally able to get through the manufacturer and buy a replacement battery from them. And they just got it today. This is what they sent me. So this battery is different. It's definitely thicker, wider in this way. It's a different manufacturer, and it has different cells inside. But it's still 48 volts. It's still using 18650 cells. And so it'll work just fine. This one is actually 14 amp hours instead of 10 amp hours. So it'll actually have 40% more capacity. So this should be quite a good upgrade, assuming it all works. The size is not a problem because this one doesn't have any sticky material in it, but it does fit into the scooter. Just barely. So it looks like this body was made for multiple size batteries. This probably being the old one, probably being the smallest battery that they made, advertised, sold, and this one being the biggest one that they could fit. Probably some higher end models. Really the only difference was going from the small battery to the big battery to give you additional range. Then connect this battery, connect the terminals, and let's see what happens. So connect the charging terminal and connect the power terminal. Then the key's already turned on. Press the power button. And hey, the scooter works now. And if we hit the throttle, so we can see the scooter's working. The new battery works. And if we plug in the charger, we can see it charges. It actually stays red and it continues to charge. So this replacement battery will work, assuming I can just get these cables tucked back in that space, which should be okay, and the panel put on. So this is the first and simplest solution of how we can fix the scooter battery being dead. I'm gonna make at least one, maybe two more videos, maybe more, depending on how it goes, and see what we can do with this older battery. See if there's work that we can do to repair it. If we can't repair it or like bring it back to life through the BMS, we'll take apart, we'll look at the cells, we'll see what the cell health is, and we'll see if there is anything that we can do to repurpose those cells and get some value out of them. Or if it's just completely worthless and it just needs to be recycled. Yeah. So that's it for this video, I think. I'm busy being terrible. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. And we'll see if I make more videos like this in the future.